Genesis, Principle #7, Gen 4, 18, P9. Sinful anger. We must not allow the God-created emotion of anger to become immoral. 1. The story behind the principle. Genesis 4, 1-8. Genesis 4, 1-8 tells the story of Cain and Abel, the first two sons of Adam and Eve. Both bring offerings to God. Abel brings the firstborn and best of his flock. Cain brings some of the fruit of the ground. God regards Abel's offering but not Cain's. Instead of responding with humility and repentance, Cain becomes very angry, and his face falls. God then speaks to Cain and asks, "Why are you angry? If you do well, will you not be accepted?" And warns him, "Sin is crouching at your door. Its desire is for you, but you must rule over it." Cain ignores this warning, nurses his anger, lures Abel into the field, and murders him. The passage shows the progression from hurt pride, anger, jealousy, violence. 2. Anger as a God-created emotion. The principle begins by recognizing that anger itself is not automatically sin. God is sometimes described as angry at evil or injustice. This is righteous anger, aimed at what is truly wrong. Humans, made in God's image, can also feel proper anger at real sin, abuse, or injustice. So the issue is not that Cain felt upset, it's what he did with that anger. God even invites him to examine it. Why are you angry? That question implies Cain has a choice in how he responds. 3. When anger becomes sinful. In Cain's case, anger becomes sinful when it is rooted in pride and jealousy, not in true injustice. Cain is angry because his offering and his heart are not accepted, while Abel's are. Instead of asking what needs to change in himself, he resents Abel. He refuses God's correction. God warns Cain clearly that sin is crouching at the door and must be mastered. Cain chooses to ignore God's counsel. He turns anger inward and outward in destructive ways. Inwardly he broods, lets his face fall, and feeds his resentment. Outwardly, he attacks the innocent person connected with his pain, his brother. Sinful anger, then, is anger that is selfish, jealous, or proud at the core, is nursed instead of confessed, leads to thoughts, words, or actions that harm others or rebel against God. 4. The warning and responsibility God's words to Cain are key to this principle. Sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must rule over it. Picture sin like a predator, ready to pounce. Anger opens the door if we're not careful. God is saying, anger will invite sin if left unchecked. You are not helpless. You are responsible to rule over it, by choosing what is right instead of what feels good in the moment. In New Testament language, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and give no opportunity to the devil. Ephesians 4:26-27. That echoes God's warning to Cain. 5. Applying the principle today. We must not allow the God-created emotion of anger to become sinful means acknowledge anger honestly. Don't pretend you're never angry. Bring it to God like Cain should have. Lord, I'm hurt, jealous, offended. Show me why. Check the root. Ask, is my anger about God's honor and actual wrong, or about my ego, comfort, and control? If it's about pride, confess and ask God to change your heart before you act or speak. Heed God's warning early. Notice early signs: coldness, resentment, replaying offenses in your mind. Choose to do well. Apologize if needed. Forgive. Have a hard but honest talk, instead of feeding the fire. Refuse to act from anger. Delay responses, especially online. Don't text, post, or confront in the heat of emotion. Commit that you will not hit, scream, insult, manipulate, or retaliate when you're angry. Let anger drive you to God, not to sin. Pray like David in the Psalms. Pour out frustration to God, then let Him correct your perspective and give you His peace and wisdom. 6. The heart of principle, #7. Genesis. Principle #7 uses Cain as a sober warning. Anger is real and God-given, but it is dangerous when tied to pride and left unchecked. God is gracious. He warns, questions, and invites us to master it with His help. If we ignore Him, anger can lead to terrible sin and severe damage. to others, and to ourselves. So the call is, feel anger, but don't feed anger. Bring it into God's light, let Him purify it, and choose responses that honor Him and protect others. That is how we must not allow the God-created emotion of anger to become sinful, learning from Cain's tragedy instead of repeating it.